All right, Shalom, Shalom. Brakata Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. All right, double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops here at Great Millstone. Shalom to you. Shalom to the Akim who are pushing the work in truth and in sincerity, bringing forth the testimony of our Lord Yahweh Shai. That testimony is the spirit of prophecy, prophecy meaning to say before. All right, and we are risen up in these last days, these last evil days, to bring forth that prophecy. All right, one of the major prophecies we always talk about is pretty much the hour of temptation. All right, the MOTB. All right, which is the mark of the beast, which we believe in, and in fact, indeed, it is the RFID chip. All right. And what's happening now is that, Esau is consolidating all control through every facet in society, whether it be agriculture, whether it be health. All right, to have complete control over mankind. All right, and so one of the another thing that they're doing now is, as we speak, with their agenda is this One Health thing. All right, where they're combining what environmental health, human health, and animal health, and essentially they're bringing it into one, conversation. All right, so I'll read a little bit on it, and then there's an article that I found actually. I kind of want to bring it out, but it has so many of those code words that we can't say. I'm kind of reluctant to bring it out, but as we all know and should know, what this devil is doing. All right, we know Esau represents the end of the world. We're at the end of the world. All right, and time again, we have to clearly, all right, make the vision plain upon tables, so men may run who readeth it. All right, so men could get themselves together in these times and prepare themselves for what's to come. All right, and build their faith in Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai. All right, the only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. All right, which means he delivers. His Father Yahweh, which means he to be or he exists. All right, and so without further ado, all right, Lord, this lesson is edifying. Okay, so One Health is an approach calling for collaborative efforts of multiple disciplines working locally, nationally, and globally. All right, and those are very key words, okay? Because this all goes back to that one world order doctrine, okay? Bringing everything under one umbrella. It says to attain optimal health for people, but their true intent is not to bring humanity or humans or health to its optimal, working, for lack of better word, stages. All right. Okay. So it says to attain optimal health for people, animals, and our environment, as defined by the One Health Initiative Task Force. It developed in response to evidence of the spreading of Slaki for the noise in the background. Kind of, the kids is kind of loud, and Slaki, and I don't want them to. Well, let me pause this really quick. All right, so Salaki, I had to fix something really quick. So, like I said, Salaki, if you hear any background noise, all right. So I'll continue. It says it developed in response to evidence of spreading of zoonotic diseases between species and increasing awareness of the interdependence of human, all right, and animal health and ecological change. Yeah, it does have dependence, all right, as far as the health goes between these three entities. The environment, and then you got animal health, and then you got human health, which these corporations who are secretly third party pushing for, this consolidation of control through, these the ploy of trying to fix everything. All right, they're the main reason why, you know, these interdependent, the human, animal, and environment are all out of whack. It's all out of control. All right, because these individuals, through science, in the name of science, push for testing things that they ought not to test. You know, like diseases. They have patents for diseases. You know, they don't care for mankind, because if they did, they wouldn't be pushing, decadence at the level that they are here in, the Western civilization. You got, obesity is, okay in the eyes of society because it drives up profit when you can, essentially set up these fast food restaurants. All right. Fast food stores, convenience stores where really, there ain't no nutrition in the food. All right. So it's really hypocrisy at the highest level. All right. It's just another ploy. It's just that, and that's why we call the so-called white man the devil. All right. Because they only push wickedness. All right. And they always present this, this pseudo savior behavior in front of the masses, in front of the media, in front of the television, which is all bullcrap. All right. And the scriptures say, what? You shall know them by their fruits. And what have they done in the world, in the earth? All right. And I'm speaking on, all corporations, because really this is all ran by Esau, Edom, and this is his establishment. This is what they call democracy. This is what they call capitalism. All right. And they love it. OK. So Salaki. All right. It says, in this viewpoint, public health is no longer seen in purely human terms due to a shared environment and highly conserved physiology. Animals and humans not only suffer from the same zoonotic diseases, but can also be treated by either structurally related or identical drugs. All right. And so it's always a ploy to push more of their drugs on mankind and animal kind. All right. And which, the Lord has set up the herbs, or, set up the environment to where you can go to the environment and heal yourself, and the scriptures tell you that. All right. And they're taking that away from the world. All right. Through the Rockefeller Foundation in the early 1900s, mid 1900s. All right. They took that away. Now, you find out that they're only pushing they're only pushing the drugs, the pharmaceutical drugs. All right. And if you're pushing any type of holistic health, you're pretty much, you're scrutinized. All right. And they'll shut you down. All right. They even arrest certain people who, came out with the, remedies for cancer and other things, man. All right. So this devil don't want to help, man. He wants to control everything and ultimately do it his way. All right. So it says, it's a little bit more. It says, for this reason, special care must be taken to avoid unnecessary and over treatment of zoonotic drug or diseases. All right, particularly in the context of drug resistance and infection microbes. A number of organizations throughout the world support the objective of health, including One Health Commission, One Health Initiative, One Health Platform, One Health Office, and the quadripartite organizations. Okay, Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, which all of these, especially the second one, that's a big red flag. All right. The WHO, the WOAH. All right. And I'm not going to say their names for particular reasons. All right. So there's more rhetoric because they have to justify the means, It's always them justifying the means. But what you really find out is that, look at this. Pentagon wants to feed troops experimental lab grown meat to reduce CO2 footprint. All right. And this is going to be the guise of saving the world, reducing CO2, so on and so forth, and it's all really malarkey. All right. Especially if you know the devil and if you know what their intent is. All right. OK, we know, the cat's out the bag. Their true intent is what stuff like the Georgia Guidestones, which. All right. When you look at I wasn't supposed to do that. When you look at the Georgia Guidestones, I ain't spelling right. When you look at the Georgia Guidestones, excuse me. All right, and this is not just in Georgia. This is all over the world, parts of the world. All right. So, one of their 10 commandments is to keep society, all right, under or at 500. 500,000 people. This is their ideal. All right. This is their ideal agenda. Okay. And they have it in different languages. Why? Because it's a global one world thing. Okay. Let's see here. As you can see, the Hebrew, right? Because they want to bring everybody into this one world ideology where they have ultimate control, and they get to deem whether you're fit for their society, and they're going to eliminate a lot of people from the society that they deem unworthy. All right. So, so the inscription reads, maintain, humanity under 500,000. It says 500 million. All right. And we know we have what over 8.5 billion people on the planet. I don't know exactly, but that's a large portion of people. All right. In perpetual balance with nature. Okay. So it's nothing more than them actually pushing towards this here. All right. You see, it says a guy reproductive wisely. See, they're going to have control of reproduction, who gets to breed and who doesn't get to breed. We're headed into that world. All right. Improving fitness and diversity. Right. So they do have some things where you're going to, that sounds good, for the greater good, but really it's always been a ploy to limit, all right, the freedoms of all mankind and bring people under control. So hold on, let me see. I got to go back to this article. So give me a second. Let me find it. All right. So here we go. And I'm going to read just a few paragraphs. Read the first paragraph and then I'll jump down. All right. So this is Brownstone Institute. This article is by Tracy Thurman. It's called The One Health Agenda. Right. So it says, in my previous articles, we looked at the global war on farmers. All right. Which that's a real thing. All right. They're pushing against farmers, and the guys is that reducing CO2. All right. Okay. So it says the organizations, all right, pushing for the great food reset. Right. So it's a reset in all aspects of life, food, the economy, how you buy and sell. All right. Which we know that the world is going towards a digital currency, digital IDs. All right. So it says the tactics used to foist these changes on the public. All right, the projects underway to remove your access to healthy farm fresh foods and the mRNA, RNA, and DNA gene therapies entering our food supply. And they said they would, if they can't get everybody to, take the inoculation, they were going to do it another way. All right, this is from their own mouths. If you've been paying attention, all right, you would full well know. Okay. In today's installment, we will examine the One Health agenda and how it threatens to destroy both food freedom and medical freedom. All right, because they're taking all avenues of choice away, and you're gonna only be able to choose what they present you. All right, as far as health, as far as food. All right. The term One Health was coined after the first SARS outbreak in the early 2000s to reflect the danger of new diseases emerging from human-animal contact. It refers to the idea of public health being not just about your health, but also about animal and planetary health. Right? If they really cared about that, they wouldn't have zoos. They wouldn't allow animals to come in contact with mankind. All right. They wouldn't allow bestiality and all of these evil, sadistic things to go on. So it's hypocrisy at the highest levels. It's hypocrisy with these people who are supposed to be running the planet. All right. It's complete absurdity. It says it is framed in language designed to sound appealing and holistic. Right. And that's how they always get people. It's deception at its finest. All right. Through words. And they pass policies just so they'll be able to do so without any, anyone fighting back or any repercussion. It says embedded within it is the assumption that because planetary health is at stake, there must be a global governing body with control over all plants, animals, and humans, or human beings, to guard this One Health and to sustainably balance, the health of people, animals, and ecosystems with equity. With equity, that's hilarious. Between prioritizing animals, the environment, and your personal health, the One Health concept has incredibly dangerous ramifications, which should be apparent when you consider who is pushing it. The WHO, the World Bank, Bill Gates, the Rockefeller Foundation, the NIH, the CDC, the USDA, FDA, and every other C-19 culprit you can think of. See, so it's these individuals who have clearly, now they're coming out with, the pandemic was a failure, a complete failure. All right. The inoculations was a complete failure. The media forcing people, canceling people, and, that was a complete failure. Silencing doctors, that was a complete failure. All right. These are the same culprits coming with another agenda. All right. And they have what? The power to do so. It says when it is light, they practice it. All right. Let me see. Let me get Micah. All right. Micah 2:1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. All right. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. All right. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And that's what's happening. All right. These devils are planning these things out. All right. In their, secret chambers. All right. And employing these things when it is light. All right. When they have the opportunity. Okay. So let me get that in the NLT. Micah 2:1. And right. And you got a lot of you idiots out there. All right. Who drank too much Jesus juice. All right. And too caught up in this world, you Israelites as well. You don't even see this happening in front of you, man. All right. And a lot of you don't understand what the fuck is going on. All right. You don't understand that Esau, Edom, is the end of the world, and that he's doing all sorts of madness and wickedness. All right. And lying and deception, all right, in the world. All right. But hey, it's our job to do so. All right. So this is Micah 2:1. It says, "What sorrow awaits you who lie awake at night, thinking up evil plans? All right, you rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out, simply because you have the power to do so. All right, when you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. When you want someone's house, you take it by fraud and violence." All right, and this is the MO of this devil since his origin. All right, Salaki. Right. So when you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. When you want someone's house, you take it by fraud and violence. You cheat a man of his property, stealing his family's inheritance. And this is the MO of this devil, man. All right. That's what they've been doing for the last few centuries, man. All right. And even more so now, because what they have an ultimate agenda, and that agenda is to consolidate all control, is to take control of everything, every facet of life. All right, how much water you drink, how much food you eat, what type of food you eat, what type of things you think, what things you are allowed to think, what things you are allowed to say. All right, and we've been telling you, all right, we're supposed to be preparing ourselves for this time and preparing ourselves for the battle, because it's a spiritual warfare. They're moving carnally, but the only way to fight against this is to have a spiritual fortitude, and that is the fortitude that we have is through Yahweh Shai. All right, verse 3, it says, "But this is what the Lord says: I will reward your evil with evil. You won't be able to pull your neck out of the noose." That's right, because the Lord is going to have control over this devil eventually in the end. All right, you will no longer walk around proudly, for it will be a terrible time. That's right. Let me get this one. I always pull this one out. This is 2nd Ezra 9 and 20. It says, "So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril," meaning dangers, "because of the devices that were come into it." All right. So another word for device is dealing with ideals. All right. So you can say philosophy. All right. Here it says intent. This is the online Edamon online. All right. An express intent or desire, a plan. So the world is headed into peril, and peril is what? Danger. Okay. Why? Because these devils have thought up the most ingenious dumbass plan for world dominance, and to ultimately recapture the birthright that they lost. All right. During the time that Isaac gave Jacob and Esau their blessings. All right. And he gave them blessings considering the future. All right. So it says danger, risk. Well, we are at risk of losing this whole planet, and the whole planet going into what? Thermonuclear war. All right. Which is actually going to happen. Hazard, jeopardy. So what's that jeopardy? The vitality of all human life, not just human life, plant life, and animal life. All right. Exposure of person or property to injury. That's right. The world, certain parts of the world is going to be blown to smithereens. Not the whole world. All right. Completely being blown to smithereens. Just certain parts of the world being blown up. All right. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. All right. Okay, and I'm going to read a little bit more of that article too. All right. Revelations 12 and 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea." Right. "For the devil is come down unto you." A lot of you think this devil is dealing with some mythical creature. All right. Or some spirit. No, It is an actual man. It is men, all right, Edomites, okay, who want absolutely nothing more than to destroy everything, all right, anything, in anything opposing their will. And these men, they want to be like God. They want to put themselves up as God, and they want to rule like gods, okay, at the expense of destroying everything around them. All right. And a lot of you are just completely dumbasses because you can't see who the main culprit is when he's presenting himself right in front of you and positioning himself right in front of you. All right. So it says, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right. And that's the reason why he knows he has a short time, because what? The prophets have risen up, and that's part of his time scale. All right. He knows when the prophets have risen that the Lord is nigh. He's on his way, because what? The truth has gone out to the four corners of the earth, the uttermost parts of the world. And the scriptures say, and then shall the end come. Right. So we know that the end is nigh. It's very close. It's closer than what we actually think. OK, so let's go back. I'm going to read a little bit more. All right. This is a good article. You know, it's just pointing out the obvious. All right. As far as what these entities want to do. All right. As far as the world. All right. So going back to the article. All right. So it says it also raises the disturbing specter of healthcare being rationed or withheld on the grounds that your health needs are outweighed by environmental needs. Yep. So they're going to be pulling that one too. They already been pulling that. All right. When you consider the explicit Malthusian beliefs of the globalists, what does that mean? Malthusian. The Malthusians are back. This leads to another article. So it says scolding regular people for contributing to climate change is out of fashion, but scolding people for making new people is apparently totally fine. Right. So the eugenicists. All right. What? The world is imperishable because of these devices that have come into it. And these ideals, the intent. OK, it's not good. It's absolutely not good. And they're gonna play it off as it's good. They're gonna perpetrate it as it's a wonderful thing. Why didn't anyone else come up with this? You know, and they give themselves Nobel Peace Prizes and all of these things. All right. So it says when you consider the explicit Malthusian beliefs of the globalists, such an idea carries untold risk. The managers of society clearly believe that the planet's ecosystems would benefit from a reduction in the number of peasants. All right. And they're willing to commit genocide against certain whole parts of the world, certain continents. Believe me, they're already doing it. All right. In the Gaza Strip. OK, this has always been the MO. And why do you think America backs Israel right now? Because what? They've always had that colonialist, that colonizing spirit, that spirit to take over every damn thing. All right. That's what that. There's nothing new under the sun. All right. So, so it says in this new health paradigm allows them to factor that dogma into the decision of whether you deserve life-saving care. The right to opt out of the V's, all right, the right to real natural food or life at all. See, and they're gonna be the ones presenting how you should, they're gonna present, the things, all right, for you, all right. It's going to be their way. OK, it's going to be their way, completely their way. And if you don't opt into their way, they're going to cut you off from society. All right, this is where we headed, and that the image of the beast should both speak. All right, and cause that as many as not worship the image of the beast should both die. All right, and they can, that they should both, that they should be killed. All right, and that word "kill" goes into you being separated from, or cut off. All right, so it's the same beast that the Roman Empire. All right, which is the true image. Her true image goes back. Okay, it is in fact the Roman Empire, but it's on steroids because its deadly wound was healed, and now we live in that beast system. All right. Okay, that same beast. All right. So so they go into some numbers. Here we go. So a little bit more. Beyond medical care, it is hard to imagine any aspect of your life that would not come under the purview of the One Health framework, right? So it's going to cover all aspects. It says if the health of animals, people, and the environment are all to be weighed equally, the agenda goes far beyond the doctor's office, where you live, where you can travel, what you buy, how you can spend your money, and what you can eat would all fall under this totalitarian biosecurity system. All right. Think about this combined with central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, a system already rolling out in other countries and planned for launch here in the United States. Under this system, all money is digital and centrally controlled. The federal government can program your money so you can only spend it on approved items. This is already in play. The Fed Pay. You got digital ID. All right. They already talking about CBDCs. The central banks and banks all over have accepted CBDCs. They have launched and piloted these frameworks. All right. So the hell what a nigga talking about. All right. If they don't understand, if they ain't accepting what this truly is, then they're lost, and they're gonna either concede to the beast system, or they just, they're gonna be mauled over, man, and have no hope in that time. All right, it says the feds, all right, can program your money so you can only spend it on approved items. Your grocery prescription of insect powder and mRNA laced vegetables may become mandatory, right? Because they're trying to change people's DNA to where they don't, they can't tap into their spirit, and that's heavy, and it's heavy, diabolical, man. All right. So it says, and it is a good article. All right, I'll just finish it out. Unless you have already established an alternate food supply with the option to pay in an independent currency, which is going to be very hard for people to do. All right. Take all this in the context of the crackdown on farmers around the world, including here in the United States, then factor in the emerging One Health biosecurity control grid. All right. Married to the central bank, digital currency, social credit scores, and personal carbon footprints, and the full picture emerges. The controlled demolition of the current food supply and freedom as we know it, to replace it with a global, centralized, fully surveilled, and tightly controlled system where the peasants subsist on industrially processed so-called foods, in which your medical care is based on what the Malthusians say is good for the planet, using climate change and planetary health as an excuse. All right, so we told you this is definitely Revelations, the 13th chapter, the 15th and 16th verse. All right, without a shadow of doubt, that's exactly what it is. Okay, I kind of didn't want to get into this precept, but it's exactly what that precept, what that paragraph is going into. Revelations 13:15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right? And that's what's happening. They created a system where if you don't follow this system, if you don't believe in this system, all right, they can cut you off from society. And they're going to do that, all right, via social media, via media itself. Okay. And hell, your digital ID is going to play a huge part in that, because you're going to have to use that to log on. In the near future, you're going to have to use your digital ID to log on, because, you know, they have the two-way, I forget what it's called. It's when you forget your password. But they have the security measures, all right? And you're going to have your ID, that digital ID, to get past that security. All right, so that you can probably even open up apps and, you know, do the regular things that people do now for free. All right, and they're gonna cut those freedoms off. All right, and you're gonna have to enter into their, their control. Verse 16, and it calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and in their forehead. And this is what it's coming to, man. All right, this is gonna be straight out of a sci-fi movie, which a lot of you call us conspirators. But y'all, what you don't really play into mind is how these things are actually coming to fruition. All of these things are coming together based on the policies that's being passed. And you people are ignorant, willfully. All right. Willfully ignorant. Okay. To basically what's going on. All right. So, one more precept and then I'm going to close it. This is Psalms 10. All right. Because ultimately it's a war against the poor that Esau is waging. And it's really you Israelites. And then, everybody else pretty much fall, in that category too. All right. Psalms 10:1. It says, why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in the times of trouble? Okay. I mean, and that's what it seems like, but it's not really like that. All right. It says, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let him be taken in the devices that he have imagined. All right. We went into that word device. It's their ideals. Okay. All right. It says because they're going to be destroyed. All right. When they try to capstone their enterprise. All right. When they try to bring things into full swing, which they will. Right. But as they're eating, that's when the Lord is going to cast his fury upon them, as the scriptures say in Job 20. It says, for the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. Right, because he would have sought after the Creator to essentially run the world the way the Creator would see fit. But they're not, because now they're gods, and they're trying to run this is the world, and that's a disaster, right? A complete disaster. NLT says, "O Lord, why do you stand so far away? Why do you hide when I am in trouble?" It says, the wicked arrogantly hunt down the poor. Let them be caught in the evil they plan for others. For they brag about their evil desires. They praise the greedy and curse the Lord. The wicked are too proud to seek God. They seem to think that God is dead. Right? And this is all why they're doing this, because, and the Lord doesn't move on our time. He moves in a very subtle, mysterious way. All right. And that's mainly through his prophets. It's this very undesirable way. It's a way that's not sought up. He moves completely different. Why? Because, he undermines men in their pride so that he may obtain the glory alone. And that's what is happening here. Yet they succeed in everything they do. They do not see your punishment awaiting them. They sneer at all their enemies. All right. What is the sneer? And I know it says puffeth at them, right? So they don't see the judgment that's coming. They're ignoring it. All right. It says snorts. All right. And the Hebrew word is pawach. Pawach. All right. To puff or to breathe, to blow. To breathe, to cause to exhale. Or breathe, to puff. Snort, to excite, inflame. To puff, pant for. To breathe out. To blow, blast. All right. Bring into a snare. That's more fitting. Because essentially that's what they're doing. All right. So with that, I'm going to have to close out. Got to get ready for the plantation. So, hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Until next time, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you. I can push in the work in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.